to the Southeast Iowa Union Newsbreak. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. Today's top story: the Washington City Council approved the sale of a business park lot at a meeting Tuesday night. Lot 10 was sold to Sunset Diesel Performance, an auto repair shop currently located on Coppic Road, south of town. The sale had two components: a purchase agreement and a separate agreement requiring the business to pave the lot within 3 years. Both passed with unanimous approval. Washington Economic Development Group Executive Director Mary Audia said the move could generate development elsewhere in the city's newer business park. "I would say it's a really big deal," she said. "It continues the momentum of the Southwest Business Park, so I think once that goes in, people will see there's a lot more action happening now in the Southwest Business Park. We have a lot more lots to sell in that area." A representative from Sunset Diesel was not immediately available for comment. Caden Huston's 4-H project this summer is one of a handful selected for the Iowa State Fair, but only one of only a few so immediately visible on the fairgrounds. Huston spent the last several months fundraising for and installing signs around the land's historical landmarks, a continuation of a brochure-based walking tour he made last year. "I thought that all the historical stops on this tour, whether it be a ground or a structure or a building, were underappreciated and sometimes overlooked. With everything said and done, the project took from February this year to the week before the fair to complete." Huston said he was happy with the results. "I'm very proud of it, and I even have a couple more I'm going to do, so this project is not over." The research consisted of shifting through old newspapers and primary sources, plus consulting with local historians. Most of that process was done last year for the brochure-based walking tour. While it was a lot of work, Huston said he was passionate about the subject. Huston said his favorite newly marked site was the Chautauqua Grounds. Sorry, I'm not from Washington if I completely butchered that. An out-of-the-way area on the north side of the fairgrounds, close to the Mile Train Club, which today hosts performers at the fair. Looking to Davenport, Brett Thomas Kriz, 32, was sentenced to 260 months in prison for conspiracy to distribute 50 grams or more of methamphetamine and possession with intent to distribute 50 grams or more of methamphetamine after pleading guilty to the charges in December of 2021. Kriz is also ordered to serve 5 years of supervised release following the prison term. According to court documents, law enforcement in Washington County initiated a traffic stop on Kriz's car, which resulted in a search of the vehicle. Officers discovered 2 backpacks containing ice, methamphetamine, and other drug paraphernalia. In post-Miranda statements, Kriz admitted to regularly purchasing methamphetamine, which he distributed in various places in eastern Iowa. The matter was investigated by the Washington County Sheriff's Office, the Iowa Division of Narcotics Enforcement, and the Johnson County Drug Task Force, and prosecuted by the United States Attorney Office for the Southern District of Iowa. It is now time for obituaries. Brian Craig Small of Batavia passed away on July 16th at the age of 64. He was survived by his sons Samuel Small and Joel Bumgartner, his 2 grandchildren, and his brothers Stephen, Rick, and Jeff Smalls, his sister Stephanie Patton, and many nieces and nephews. A celebration of life will be at 1 p.m. on July 24th at Dewdrop in Libertyville. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will have weather and sports.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
Welcome back to the Southeast Iowa Union Newsbreak. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. It is now time for the weather. It is currently 92 degrees and sunny outside. Tonight it will drop down to 63 degrees with mostly clear skies, although clouds will develop in the early morning. There is a chance of rain tomorrow morning, and the high for the day will be 90. And at night there's a chance of thunderstorms. Looking at the rest of the weekend, it is going to be a hot one this Saturday with temperatures reaching 99 degrees before real feel is factored in. At night, temperatures will drop only to 74 degrees, and there's a chance of scattered thunderstorms. Temperatures will be cooler on Sunday with the high being only 84, and it will be cloudy. At night, temperatures will drop all the way down to 64, which will give our AC units some rest. And then we will start the work week with some rain, and the high will only be 74. The rain will stop in the middle of the day, but the rain will make a return at night.
Sports, brought to you by Fairway.
The stage is set for New London. One final test remains for the Tigers. The team standing in the way of a state championship for number 3 New London, who is 30-1 on the season, is none other than unblemished number 1 seeded Remsen St. Mary's, who is 35-0 on the season. Up until this point and throughout the first 2 rounds of the state tournament, it's been utter dominance by these 2 squads. New London is coming off one of the most commanding victories you will ever see in a state tournament. In their semifinal win, a 16-1 victory over second-seeded Newman Catholic. Throughout the first 2 rounds, the Tigers have shown just how tough they are on both sides of the ball, tallying a runs ratio of 28-4 between their wins over Newman and Cam Anita. You don't get this far without great pitching and consistency at the plate. Both have shown out in each of these categories. Everyone will be able to pitch for the 2 squads, with the exception being the 2 semifinal winners, Seth Bailey for New London and Jackson Bunkers for St. Mary's. It's going to be a battle from the hill. New London's Derek Santiago, with an 8.6 ERA, will most likely get the start on the hill for New London. The senior slinger had an impressive performance in his win over Cam Anita. He's good to go after 3 days of rest. Josh Cottola, who has a 2.06 ERA, relieved Santiago in Game 1 and was spectacular in closing out in the win. He could make an appearance as well. Cooper Schulte, who hasn't given up a run this season, has not seen the mound yet in the tournament. Brendan Rickey, who has a 1.86 ERA, and Carter Allen, who has a 2.17 ERA, could also go in for New London. For Remsen St. Mary's, ace Carter Shorg, who has a .22 ERA, will likely start. To go with his mind-boggling ERA, he has 100 strikeouts on 208 batters faced and has allowed just 22 hits. Cale Ortman, who has a .78 ERA, has 11 starts with 53 strikeouts on 130 faced batters. Isaiah Garretts has a .9 ERA, has the potential to pitch for St. Mary's as well. This game is set at 12 p.m. on Friday, with the winner being crowned state champion. That is the news for Washington today. Thank you for joining us in the Southeast Iowa Union Newsbreak. I'm your host, Nick Steffens, and I will see you next